What's up, it's Guru JoJo, and in this video I'm going to be speaking about the importance of retuning back with the self. This is very important because I feel this is the energy that we're currently going through. Being that the month of September is kind of like a new beginning kind of energy, okay, and like traditional everyday mundane type of life, we usually start something new towards September. Things usually are changing, upgrading. In August it's like that whole like back to school month and stuff. Despite us, even all of us even being a part of this, because obviously some people don't go to school, some people graduate, they're finished. The energy still remains the same. So it's important to retune back with the self, okay? Because what a lot of people don't know is that human beings operate very similar to instruments, musical instruments. If you hear clicking in the background, that is my light. Somebody want to leave a donation so that I can get somebody to buy a new light, a new lamp. Thank you. So anyways, human beings, we operate similar to instruments, okay? We're constantly being played with. We are constantly being played with. So some people say, okay, we operate similar to toys. But just for the purposes of music and metaphysics, instruments, okay? The only difference is that human beings also have a mind of its own. See, instruments don't. So people just like pick it up and play it. They either learn how to play it or they don't, okay? And the instrument has no choice but to compromise with whoever is playing it, right? Human beings have a choice. That's the difference. Instruments are constantly compromising with its environment and the people that's playing it, right? Think of a guitar. Somebody has to strum those strings and then you hear the guitar sounds, right? Now, the thing is that the moisture in the air also affects the quality of the sound that comes out of that guitar, besides obviously expenses and literally like the brand of the guitar, the quality of the guitar, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Now, the thing is that, the guitar will respond to the environment, the moisture in the air, as well as the person that's playing the instrument. Now, we have options. We can allow for people to play us, but we also have the ability to not be so completely influenced by the player. And this is where human beings have luck, in a sense, because we have that ability to either completely conform with whoever's playing us, or to allow this to retune us back to ourselves. Because think about instruments. Eventually instruments have to get retuned. They keep getting played with, or they're not getting played with enough to the point that it becomes out of tune. And then there's another instrument that you can use to measure and make sure that the tuning is aligned. This is what we have to do as human beings. Human beings have to learn to retune themselves because we're constantly being influenced by outside stimuli. We're constantly being influenced by outside stimuli. We're constantly being influenced by the players that's sort of tooting our horns. And this is influencing us to come out of line or out of touch with our true purpose and what we're really intended to do. It happens all the time. I see it happen all the time. It happens to me. It happens to thy neighbor. Now, some people will be like, who cares if it happens? What does it do? Well, what it does is when you get out of tune with yourself, you start to go after things. You start to do things. We start to do things that really we didn't need to do because we forget what our purpose is. That's why it's important to know what you really want, what you're trying to do, and don't allow too much for other people and their competitive natures to conflict with what you already knew you wanted to do. Now, some people just don't know what they want to do, and that just means they need to connect with themselves in general. But some people already knew what they wanted. Some people already know what makes them happy, and they know what would fulfill them in their lives. But what happens is these players disrupt our knowingness of our true purpose and our intentions in this life. And that's where we have to come back and what? Retune the self. Retune the self. It's very important to do. We have to come back and retune the self. Because we see other things that other people do, and we think that we like them, and we may like them, or we a lot of times it's not even about like. We think that we have to meet up to expectations. No. You meet up to your expectations first. I don't give a shit about her expectation or his expectations or their expectations. What matters is my expectations. What matters is your expectations. What do you expect of yourself? And that's your goals. And that's what you go after. And that's what you plan to go after. That person is doing something else for whatever motive intention that they have. Good for them. They will not disrupt me and what I'm trying to do, right? Let's bring this back to the music world. Some people make albums. Some people make EPs. Some people make singles. If your intention is to make a single, okay, and maybe you want to make an EP and an album, whatever, but you know your intention is to make a single, and then somebody else comes out with their flipping album or their single. Let's say somebody else comes out with their single. You think that you have to immediately rush and put out your single. No, you don't. Sometimes, yeah, that is a sign that you may need to hurry up and put your shit out. But sometimes the universe is testing you. It's testing you to see if you're doing things for the right reasons. Are you going to rush something and put out garbage or something like that, or put out something that you really don't like or something like that just because you see somebody else? Do you get triggered that some people are like, so it's like we got you by a string. It's like a magnet. As soon as I do something, you're just getting flipping triggered along. It's stupid. Know what you want to do. Know what your intentions are. And take your time, but also don't take all day. Like, for example, me, I have intentions of putting out an album, but at the same time, I sing too, okay? I rap and I sing. Singing takes more effort in mix and mastering. I also don't have an engineer to do my stuff. I also use Logic Pro. I don't use Fruity Loops or FL Studios that has like a lot. I feel like FL Studios is very preset. Like everything's preset. Like you don't have to do much. I don't use that program. That's good for hip hop music and rap music. But it's like Logic Pro, I feel like takes a lot more effort to learn how to mix and master music. And you know, I only mention this because I see other people, y'all have expectations, but y'all don't know stuff. I know stuff. So I feel good within myself. A lot of people are like, how is she still? Because I know. Y'all don't know. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff you have to know. You have to have the information. You have to be your own good source. You have to be able to have the energy and break out of that laziness energy and actually do the research to find out. Some people don't want to do that. There's times where you shouldn't do that, and there's times where you should. But at the end of the flipping day, it's important to retune back with the self. You know, that player is playing, they're tooting your horn, whatever it be, and then that's cool. Now you allow me to see another perspective. You know what? I have respect for that person. Cool for them. Good for them that they can do that. Okay? Or just certain things like you have to look at and it's like just know what you want to do. Like, you know, if you're a person who you know you want to put out original music and you see somebody put out a mixtape, are you going to stop doing what you're doing to put out a mixtape? That's what I mean by retuning back with the self. Some people that don't retune back with the self, they never had intentions of putting out a mixtape ever in their lives. They don't have a problem with people who put out mixtapes, but they never wanted to put out a mixtape. And they're working on their own music project. And Thy Neighbor puts out a flipping mixtape. Or some random person, like when I say Thy Neighbor, I just mean anybody, like whatever. And then you think now that you have to put out a mixtape. No, you don't. You don't even want to put out a mixtape. It's like you have to know yourself. Retune back with yourself and stop getting distracted by what other people are doing. Because a lot of people only do stuff just to distract, because they could be jealous of something else that you have, or they could just be trying to distract you. Okay? You know what you want to do. Don't allow the outside environment to disrupt what you have going for yourself. And you're gonna be alright. And I'm saying this partly to myself, but I'm sharing this message, this divine message, with others as well. Stay in tune with what you want to do, and stop getting distracted for stupid reasons, because that's how you fall off your path and you waste your time. Blessings, love, and light. Peace out.